Who would have thought of this abandoned cave in front of us? After menu modification by men, it has been transformed into a 4-story butterfly tree that can not only accommodate a family of 10, it also has pure natural stone sheet pans. Due to Oman recently having several more children, a nomadic family can only migrate and search for larger dwellings. A family carrying ancestral tools across mountains and valleys. Finally, a super large cave was discovered in the mountains. Oman immediately began digging the pit. Then transport the nearby stones to the pit. Use this as the foundation for building a home. And there are just a lot of small gravel above that can be laid on a slope. The large rocks were dropped through Ace Bay. Saved a lot of handling time. In order to continue expanding the villa area. Oman used an iron pickaxe to chisel out the clumped sand and stones inside the cave. Wife and child are clearing the slope out of the platform on the side. The steep slope cannot be used as a habitat for survival, and the old mother's already preparing lunch. The children are guarding the precious motorcycle at home on the side. Develop steps on all the mountain roads along the way. Going up and down the mountain makes it easier and more convenient to speed up work. At this point there is already a stable area above the stone wall. Just need to lay an ancestral platform. Raising a bonfire is a warm and comfortable home. A platform in a simple cave. Only 11 members of the family live there, and for the convenience of using water for the whole family, my wife hung a plastic bucket filled with water on a tree branch. It can achieve freedom of water intake in the desert. Whether it's making tea or washing dishes, it's quite convenient. Late at night, a family sits around a cave. A man is responsible for guarding the door to prevent wild beasts from attacking. The next morning, the family members were still sound asleep. Oman and his wife have already collected many practical materials. Wild vegetables picked up casually can be added to a luxurious lunch. To solve the problem of using the toilet, surround a circle of stones with a stone wall. Just set up 2 wooden boards above the pit. After striking with a hammer, bang, bang. A toilet with excellent privacy is a great achievement, and the excess materials are processed in the same way on the side. Simultaneously use collected wooden boards to knock and combine them as wooden doors. Set up in a nearby pit as a place for bathing. For privacy reasons, we even covered it with a waterproof cloth above. The design of the shower head, on the other hand, opted for an iron bucket. As long as it is filled with water, one can achieve the freedom of bathing in the desert. The infrastructure of the cave villa has been completed, but the family has already started building the second floor. Living in a cave villa is just around the corner. Early this morning, the whole family mobilized to transport large stones, all stacked together to form a stone wall. The structure of the building is supported by wooden sticks. Next, clean up the sediment and level the slope. But in order to make the stone wall stronger and more complete, throw the sand into the sieve on site. Filter out extremely soft fine sand. Just mix it with local wild mountain spring water. We can develop homemade cement by hand, then fill gaps and surfaces in the stone wall. Gently stick smooth cobblestone blocks on a cement. After natural air drying, you will obtain a beautiful stone wall. We even specially made a fabric rack with firewood to facilitate the pouring of water cups, but it's still very difficult to climb up the slope. After laying large stones as steps, on the right side there's a small platform attached to the wall. The methods are also identical. Not only can it accommodate a lot of furniture and bedding for the whole family, after placing it on the 3rd floor platform without lights, completing indoor lighting is also very aesthetically pleasing, being able to deter wild beasts in the mountains at night. But considering the large population at home, these slopes that cannot be utilized can continue to be renovated. Become a part of the living room of a super large villa. After the family moved the stones and surrounded the slope, dig out all the sediment from the protruding part and transport it to the 2nd floor. After screening through the sieve on the 2nd floor, it can be directly transported to the bottom and made into cement. It can just be applied to the surface and gaps of the stone wall. After a simple renovation, an additional platform has been added. Ultra-large area and multi-layer Fuji structure, just to make a family of 10 comfortable to live in. However, the next morning a few little treasures arrived at home again. Fortunately, the newly built platform can be utilized. After simply setting up a baby crib, it can help newborn babies grow up healthy. To celebrate the increasing population in the family, the old mother cooked fresh lamb skewers for the whole family. I even ate rice for the first time to replenish my energy these days. And the eldest son congratulated Amansi dying on his passing. A person silently drove a foreign transport truck to the city. I spent half a year's savings to buy a big cake. Returning home, the whole family sat on the ground. Celebrating new life is also a reunion for everyone for a long time. Even if 13 people live here, it's not crowded at all. Such a warm and comfortable cave villa. Next, Oman plans to build a motorcycle garage and build sheep pens for their own flocks for easy management. In order to change clean clothes for all family members, Oman's son rode his beloved motorcycle with his wife. arriving at a spring 10 kilometers away to irrigate with water. After all, water resources are scarce in the desert. We must collect more at once. My wife has washed all the dirty clothes these days. Then he went home with a large amount of water resources and clothes. Parked the car smoothly at the doorstep of the house. Because we need to air dry these freshly washed clothes. The man tied the wire between the stone and the tree. The local weather can dry out in just one afternoon. In order to make the motorcycle stop more smoothly, the Oman family has started renovating the vacant land at the entrance. Unexpectedly, a strange old stone was accidentally unearthed. It happened to be placed aside as a stone wall. The rest of the family is not idle either. Stack all the nearby stones together. Men constantly shovel the mud and sand in front of them. Quickly obtained a cun nest for the chicks to move around in. But it's not easy to renovate the hillside. It wasn't until late at night that the family finally cleared out an empty space. Finally, I can park my motorcycle that has been randomly parked in the garage. You no longer have to worry about thieves stealing motorcycles in the desert. The next morning when I woke up, my motorcycle was still safe. A large number of smelly shoes have nowhere to be placed. It is imperative to build a shoe cabinet. Men stack cement and small stones against the wall. Decorate the exterior with crushed stones as well. These were all selected by the younger son while playing. Then fill the interior space with crushed stones. It can form a platform to place shoes that need to be changed every day. Can absorb odors well to ensure fresh air. After verifying the effectiveness of the method, immediately expand nearby. Extend the platform all the way to the staircase. This part of the space can store the amount of spring water collected yesterday. It's perfect to store all the bottles and jars here. And the middle staircase relies on the stone walls on both sides. It can be coated with cement and gravel. Make the stairs upstairs smoother and safer. The main style of this cave villa is primitive, but after following the stairs to the rooftop, the huge space in front of us cannot be wasted. The stones must be cleaned and transformed into a platform to prevent rocks from rolling and suddenly opening up. After all, this is a high-risk area for landslides. After stacking up all the broken stones, the formed stone wall naturally separates two platforms. Only a slight modification is needed to obtain a space with a super large Fuji structure. The most important thing is that it has been transformed by Oman's skilled hand. You don't have to worry about the danger of landslides at all. There is also an additional platform for activities. More space had also been reserved for the upcoming villa upgrade. This day happens to be my daughter's first birthday. A family installed a precious baby shaker on the second floor. Take out the colored hanging rope from the bottom of the box again. Post at both ends of the cave. Just need carve a small hole in the wall. You can make the color bar hang steadily in the air. The atmosphere of the entire celebration was fully filled. The youngest son rode a small donkey to the mountaintop to collect clean water. The weight of the child plus 4 plastic buckets. Undoubtedly it is a huge test for the little donkey. The atmosphere of a birthday is naturally good and cake is indispensable. As a father, I set off on a motorcycle. Go to a market several tens of kilometers away. For this, we also need to go to a transfer station. Transferring to a car is necessary to have enough gasoline to reach the city center. Then 6 months of savings to buy a pink cake. I traveled all the way until evening when I finally got home. It will take a day to get the cake. The children are extremely excited, because I can't eat cake a few times a year. After simple decoration, it's already night, but the excitement of the children is difficult to suppress. 15 people enjoy the comfort of a cave villa. Usually, everyone performs their own duties to maintain their livelihood. Cherish the rare reunion especially. I ate the delicious cake with a smile. A family will make a famous nomadic dish called milk cake dumplings. After simple shaking and greasing, after removing sheep milk that can be consumed directly, only viscous goat milk oil remains. Start stirring and making after adding starch. One by one, the milk cake balls can be placed on the plate. However, the delicious food still needs to be dried in the sun, so the man made a frame on the rooftop. A simple shanty can be suspended to prevent insects on the ground. Then lay the green grass collected from the roadside. You can expose the milk cake balls to direct sunlight. You can get famous local delicacies in just a few days. But all of this is thanks to the lovely lambs. Recently, in order to prevent lambs from running around, branches were also added above the fence. And relying on the sheep pen, temporary shelters for sheep farmers can be built. Simple tree branch frame with ancestral nylon fabric. It can provide shelter from wind and rain, warm in winter and cool in summer. Under the shade of trees, not only can one sleep comfortably, but also, while watching sheep, it can also store a lot of daily necessities. It's not a problem to accommodate 3 or 5 people. At the same time, it is very close to the cave villa. facing the sneak attack of nomadic thieves. With the help of this dense forest, many stray chickens have also been raised. But in order to further expand the scale of aquaculture, more fences need to be built to ensure safety. Aman brought his own goat to the city, replaced with rare cemented concrete, because homemade cement often cracks. The platform beneath my feet is also filled with numerous broken stones. Family members are often injured as a result. So my son started mixing cement, brush all the stairs leading into the house with cement. This way it's much safer to go up and down stairs. After waiting for it to dry, I even brushed it with welcome home. Then we started renovating the platform. Cement is smoothed by a scraper. Fill the gaps between the crushed stones. At the same time, the wife is responsible for moving supplementary materials. There are good brothers downstairs responsible for mixing the mortar. The progress of each family member performing their duties is extremely fast. At night, the entire platform becomes smooth and even, thick industrial waste soil style. Living here doesn't feel like living in a cave at all. However, homemade cement that is dried to the point of cracking is no longer sustainable. Excess cement must be brushed on again, renovating the villa to bring vitality. And the top floor of the villa is also made in the same way, collecting crushed stones from mountainous deserts, transported to the top repeatedly by manpower. After covering with crushed stones, apply cement. The kitchen that was originally covered in dust. It also greatly improves the dietary health of family members. Along with the construction of the villa, animal husbandry is also developing. The walking chickens at our doorstep are constantly growing. Some old hens can enjoy the treatment of living at home, responsible for producing the protein needed by a family. As the most precious goat in the family, we also started spraying maggots to illuminate more carefully. To celebrate the phased achievements in the construction of cave villas, a family came to a small island by the river with pots, pans, and a lamb. The lamb transforms into delicious natural skewers. Women are responsible for brewing tea and serving water. Fishing was started on fishing. The family quickly gained something. Coincidentally, the nomadic specialty rice has also been cooked. 3 generations of grandparents and grandchildren sit around the river, enjoying the leisure life of camping. Life in cave villas can be stable for a period of time, until all the resources here are exhausted. A nomadic family will embark on a new journey and migrate, find a resource-rich place to rebuild a residence, and impart survival skills to future generations.